Good afternoon and welcome to Port St. Lucie. This is lesson 11 of the making of modern China. And today we're going to look at the current leader of China, Xi Jinping, and his emergence as an economic leader of not only China, but of Asia and even parts of the world. So, how did Xi Jinping gain his momentum? Well, initially Xi Jinping was in the agricultural ministry, and he spent a year in the United States. He was in Iowa, and he lived on a farm, and he learned about Americans and farming and pizza and all kinds of American food and culture. So he came to appreciate American movies. He loves American movies. So he understands American culture as well as any leader in the history of China, probably better than any leader in the history of China. Um, this makes him a very dangerous adversary for the United States in trade because when Xi Jinping goes into negotiations for trade, he says here's $8 billion for you and $8 billion for us, or $10 billion for you and $10 billion for us. When the United States goes into negotiations with countries in not only Asia but other areas of the world, they say, well, here's $8 billion for you and $8 billion for us, but you have to buy some of our weapons and utilize some of our national defense systems, and we need to have a military base on your island or on your land or wherever you are, just to make sure that our investment is safe. And this does not go over very well with the internal workings of most countries. Most countries don't like other countries meddling in their internal affairs. It's just a matter, and it's not just the United States. It's the UK has done this in the past, and France has done this in the past, and countries don't want other countries coming in and saying, well, let us put a military base here and a military base there, and you won't even know it's there. They don't want it. They don't want to do that anymore. That's passe. It's old-fashioned. It's neo-colonialism at its worst, and it doesn't work anymore. So um, China has seen that, and Xi Jinping recognizes that fact, and then he goes into negotiations. He never even mentions weapons. He never even mentions national defense. He doesn't mention military outposts at all. The Chinese have one military outpost outside of China. They have one. The United States has 37. So the China can honestly say that when it goes into negotiations, it doesn't interfere with the internal structures of the countries that they're negotiating with, like the United States does, unfortunately. Um, their military base is in Djibouti, which is there to protect the Chinese ships going up the Red Sea to the Suez Canal. And the United States has a military post in Djibouti as well, and so does France. So, um, when it comes to negotiation, the bottom line is countries prefer to negotiate for money. It's about the money. They do not like to negotiate for national defense. They do not like to negotiate for weapons. They do not like to have people interfere with their national sovereignty. And this is a lesson that needs to be learned by the State Department of the United States, a lesson to be learned by the political leaders and economic leaders of the United States in their think tanks, like CSIS. It was a very good think tank. And there are some people in that think tank who are coming around to that way of thinking. So until next time, this is Professor Tefero for Port St. Lucie. Wishing you all a happy and healthy night, and everybody take care. Bye bye.